In this video, I'm going to go through some items that all beginners should take advantage of in RuneScape 3. Whether you're a returning player to the game or whether you're brand new to the game, this video is going to be incredibly helpful for all of you. Those of you that are in a mid-level or a high-level experience in the game, don't worry, as the next few videos on the channel will be a mid-level version and then a high-level version as well. So I'm pretty confident that you newer players will find this absolutely useful, so let's get started. So to make sure this video is future-proofed, I want to quickly start by saying Necromancy right now isn't actually released in the game, but when it does come out, if you're watching this video at that point, you absolutely want to take advantage of Necromancy as your first combat skill. Now, whether Jagex is going to introduce a different step to the tutorial which directs you towards Necromancy, which would be kind of cool, seeing as they are designing Necromancy around newer player experiences, so that combat is a lot less confusing. If they haven't done this, then I would almost certainly be able to recommend now that you do take that as your first combat style. What they have told us so far is that you acquire your weapons through the actual quest line. It'll be a lot more beginner friendly for people getting used to combat. You upgrade your gear through the quest line as well, which means that you should see some progression just from going through that quest line. We can start this at level 1 as far as I'm aware, so this would definitely be a good path for you to take if you are looking to upgrade your account in some way. If you are watching this video when it's released, it's definitely something you should take a look at. If this information changes or becomes irrelevant, you'll see in a pinned comment of this video saying, "Don't do it, I was wrong, ignore the Necromancy bit." So just check the pinned comment before you do this, but if there's nothing there, then you should check out Necromancy. Next up is an item that you have to buy from the in-game marketplace, but it is absolutely free, which is obviously something you want to grab, and that is going to be the Silverhawk Boots. These are in the Oddment store, which you can see me going to it on screen right now if you want to follow that to find out how, and they cost nothing to claim. So you can claim these, and then you just have to add Silverhawk feathers, which you can obtain through Treasure Hunter, or you can obtain them through oddments in this Oddment store as well, as you do get those daily. Now, what these boots do is they give you a passive effect that while you have these feathers charged in the boots, as you run around, as you perform different activities, get certain XP counts, and do certain other things in game like cast and ultimate ability, they will use up a feather and they will give you a boost in your agility XP. Now, agility, for anyone who doesn't know, because this is a beginner's video, is going to give you more run energy in the game and also unlock lots of shortcuts around the game as well. This isn't one of the most fun activities to train in the game, so using these definitely saves a lot of time. If you do get any of these passively, then it's worth chucking them on. It is also worth keeping in mind that these boots are actually still pretty damn good boots themselves as well. They are hybrid boots which scale from level 1 all the way up to level 60, going through level 20, 40, 50, and 60, and they give different stat boosts along the way as well. So you can keep these with you all the way along, and not only do they look stylish, they're going to give you some stats as well. In fact, until this day, I believe these are the best in slot hybrid boots, so that's something to keep in mind. A lot of people still use these at high level PVM today. Not too shabby for some free boots off of the Oddment store. One thing to keep in mind for low level players is it might not be worth spending GP or your oddments on getting the feathers. It could be more worth just waiting until you gather some up from Treasure Hunter or any in-game events and stuff and charging them, but you'll just have to decide yourself whether you are willing to spend your oddments on getting the agility levels or a bit of GP on getting them as well, or if you just want to use the boots for boots and add the feathers whenever you do get some. The next item on this list is going to be the Archaeology Journal. Now, the reason I would suggest getting this is, one, you're going to have to unlock archaeology to do it in the first place, which is a great skill for beginner players, and you can do this at level 1 in the game as well, so you can do this straight away if you wanted to. But you do also get a few teleports from having this, one of them being the Archaeology Journal, the item I want you to get, which is super useful for a lot of quests in the future that you are going to want to get. Now, not only is this journal going to give you a teleport to the dig site, which again, you are going to be going to and visiting a lot throughout your future in the game. Unlocking this skill is something you're going to want to do at some point anyway, and you can absolutely use this as a way to make AFK GP, albeit probably not an absolute ton at the beginning of the game, but you need to keep in mind that early on, your GP is going to be pretty scarce, and so anything you can AFK while progressing your character and also getting some GP is definitely something to consider. Grab yourself the Archaeology Journal from starting the Archaeology skill line because you're going to use it a lot in the future. Next up is going to sound a little bit silly, but seeds. You should start getting seeds as early as possible in this game, especially as a member, but even as a free-to-play player as well, you want to start grabbing seeds. Now, the reason you would do this is because if you start farming for herb runs in the game as soon as possible, you will put yourself in a much better position to start making more money along the way. Herb runs are a great way to get some passive income, and all you have to do is plant the seeds and then return to collect them later to sell on the ground Grand Exchange, or to turn them into potions and get even more experience out of them as well. It doesn't cost much to get seeds in the game right now, but you can also obtain them from killing other things in the game or doing other skills such as pickpocketing or woodcutting when you get nests, or a few other things as well. Again, with this, your GP from profiting off of this is going to be pretty low to begin with, but it's still going to be a profit. And then as you move up the ladder, you're going to start making a really good amount of passive income just from planting them for a few minutes of running to the old patches and then returning back later on or later on in the day, as these do grow while you're offline. If you're interested in getting into this, of course I can't fit a herb guide in this video, but I will link one in the description for you guys to watch. This next one is going to be quick, but isn't an item specifically, but it is a kind of a rule when you are looking to upgrade your combat items themselves. And that is to focus on upgrading your weapons first when upgrading combat gear instead of your armor. Now don't get me wrong, as a low level player, you're going to be going through gear pretty quick and it's super cheap in comparison to higher level gear. But money is pretty scarce for a regular player, like a brand new player anyway. And so you don't need to be upgrading every single time that you unlock the next weapon. For example, if you unlocked a new staff at level 10 magic and then another staff at level 20 magic and another one at level 30, you likely won't need to stop off and buy each individual one of those because you will outgrow them very quickly. At some points you will unlock new weapons that are 2 levels ahead, 5 levels ahead, all this sort of stuff, and so you don't have to worry about this every single time. If XP rates and kill times are dropping, then maybe consider upgrading your weapon, but don't overly stress about upgrading your lower level gear constantly every single chance you get. That being said, when you do go to upgrade gear, like I mentioned earlier, make sure you focus on your weapons first and then just get armor and stuff when you feel like you need to, because chances are for a while you're probably pretty good with just upgrading your weapons. As for the way armor works, it just doesn't do a whole lot for you in comparison. Another item that you want to grab, which is absolutely free and unfortunately is for members only, this one is the Wicked Hood. If you are a member, you can claim the Wicked Hood from Tam McGrubber in Berthorpe, which is where you can see me claiming it right now, for absolutely free. Like I say, this will give you quite a few different perks. One, it provides unlimited teleports to the Wizard's Tower, which is obviously helpful and you will use this throughout your whole adventure in RuneScape. Two, it can teleport you directly to the altars to actually craft runes as well, which comes with 2 daily uses for this. You can get extra tokens as well though, so if you have some of those you can keep going. To unlock each teleport though, you will have to add the corresponding talismans to the hood, but they're not too expensive. You can probably buy them on the Grand Exchange or get them from little monster drops and stuff. It will also give you 100 unnoted rune essence too, and rune essences are what you're going to use to craft runes at the altars. You put them in your inventory and then you head to the altar, click on it, and you'll turn them into the runes. There are a few other uses for this thing as well, and I of course will link all of the things in the description for this video, so if you want to go check that out, then go check out the link for the Wicked Hood and have a good read through. So for the last item in this video, I'm going to mention 2 of them together and you'll just have to decide which one suits you best, because one of them is rather expensive, but they do the same thing in a different way. This is going to be the Ring of Wealth and the Ring of Fortune. Now, the difference between these 2 items is the Ring of Wealth costs a hell of a lot less, at around about 12,000 coins on the Grand Exchange, with 4 charges to be able to use teleports. The Ring of Fortune costs around about 1 million coins, which is a hell of a lot more, especially for a beginner player, but it does come with unlimited teleports. So it could be something that you add onto your future item list, and I will mention it in the beginning of the mid-level video as well. But I wanted to include them both because I was going to mention the Ring of Wealth anyway. The Ring of Wealth, like I say, costs around about 12,000 coins and gives you 4 teleports, which can take you directly to the Grand Exchange, which is of course very, very helpful. If you are ever at a place where you've been farming away and you want to take your items that you got to the Grand Exchange, if you have any reason whatsoever to teleport to the Grand Exchange, then you can use this to get there very quickly. Saving time in the game is of course also going to lead to you saving money as well, so this thing is definitely worth it in my opinion. However, when it is out of charges, it comes down to the complete standard Ring of Wealth. You can usually sell it back to the Grand Exchange for around about 8,000 coins itself anyway, so using the 4 charges only costs you around about 4k, and then you just keep buying new ones and then selling it back and buying new ones and selling it back. I'll quickly mention as well that there are other jewelry items in the game that are super useful and give different teleports, such as the skilling necklace and other ones, so I'll chuck a link for teleport jewelry in the description for you guys to check as well. But grabbing yourself a Ring of Wealth and taking advantage of the fact that you can use 4 teleports for around about 4,000 coins, I would definitely take advantage of this and save myself a lot of time. Well, that brings us to the end of the list of items that beginners should absolutely get. Now, trust me, there's going to be many other ones as well, but I can't make this video like 50 years long. So if you guys do enjoy this, then I will make a part 2 if need be, if there's any request for it, any demand for it. I don't really know yet, but let me know in the comments if you do want a part 2, and if you have any ideas, guys, that play the game currently, because I know some of you mid-levels and high levels will also be watching this too. So if you do have any ideas, then drop those in the comments too, so people can read through them. And then also, if I do use your comments to build another video, a part 2 to this, then I will absolutely like screenshot your name and put that comment in there as well. Anyway, I hope you all found this useful. If you did, please do sub to the channel, especially if you are new, because I post a lot of videos that are useful like this as well, and there is a ton already on the channel if you want to check those out. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Channel members and patron subs, your names will be on the screen through this outro. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, I appreciate it. But other than that, I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.